In this video, I'm going to show you a trade I just placed before knowing if it wins or loses. You love the last one, so here's another. So I'll walk you through exactly why I entered, where my stop is, and what I'm watching. I'll also cover why gold and silver are setting up for what could be one of the biggest commodity moves of 2026. I'll show you what I'm seeing and what I'm watching before considering any position. So if you've been following gold and silver recently, you've seen that it got hit hard. And that's exactly what happens at every major pause in a strong trend. The weak hands get shaken out, the move looks finished, but in this case, it isn't. Both metals are bouncing back and it may give us a crazy run in 2026. Before we dive in, if you want my exact trading framework, setups, and routine in one place, grab my free guide at investorhorizons.com. Link is in the description below. Now let's get into it. Starting with the analysis of gold, and as you can see, after the past for the past few weeks, gold has been really bouncing back quite nicely, right? We had this major scary moment, right, for a couple weeks. I was at the end of Jan. And basically, we did not know, if that would mark the turn, the change of momentum, and a change of kind of perception, and if we were going to go bearish or sideways. And actually, gold bounced back very, very quickly. So it bounces so quickly that there's not even any pause anymore, any quality pause. That's a weekly time frame, right? We don't have this kind of beautiful things that we had before. There you see, we had this large base which it extracted from in March 2024. Beautiful consolidation, beautiful trade there that I personally took. Another consolidation, another beautiful consolidation there. Great trade. And then shorter and even shorter, right? Literally doing a V bottom. So for me, right, this is very, very tricky to enter. You would need to drop in a smaller time frame. In daily, let's have a look, but you wouldn't even see any quality pattern in daily, right? It starts to form, but it's really, really short. You need to drop in daily or even lower if you want to get basically something. But that means you're going to expose yourself to much more market noise as well. So for the weekly time frame that I trade in, I would need to see something like that to take a quality, to take a speculative trade on gold. That's irrespective of passive portfolio, different strategy, different time horizon. But for active speculative trading, that's what I'd want to see, right? A tight base or a cup and handle with a reduction volatility and a break. So it will be interesting to see how gold behaves around this level there when we go back to the previous high. Moving on to silver now, and yeah, the week of Jan 26 was just massive, right? Look at this, it's like a Darth Maul with a large body, just big drop, right? I think there was close to 30% drop from the high. And every time I open this chart, it just, look how compressed the previous candles are, right? That's a linear chart, right? But that's how big these moves have been, right? It's just dramatic. So this is even more pronounced than on gold. But a similar scenario, right? Strong bounce. Again, for me, this is tricky to enter that, right? We still don't know, right? If this is gonna turn sideways, go back up, it's hard to tell. The structure broke. So even similarly to gold, right? It's great. It's positive that there's a bounce back, but we will need to see more than that. We need more information to see if we're gonna resume a strong move, but. The size of these candles are really, really big, right? So we still have a lot of buyers on commodities and gold and silver. And it's promising, right? It looks like, this got absorbed and now it's going to bounce back to the upside. It'll take a few weeks and months to see what happens, but it's actually impressive, right? This is not a stock. This is like a commodity, right? This is like gold and silver. So it's actually impressive to see that it's behaving like a stock almost. So yeah, not as clean on silver, but let's see. What I'd like to see is for price to revisit the previous high and see how it operates there. And for me to take a speculative trade, I'd like something that lasts longer, right? At least 6 months, something beautiful and a break. So since this is one of the themes of this weekly video, I wanted to do a bit of analysis for the commodity index DBC, and we talked about that a few weeks ago where we explained that we had this large base forming like that. You see multi-year, beautiful like micro base reduction in volatility towards the end, and a very nice clean break right there. So that coincided with actually the crazy week. We had this one there, the doji, with the big wick on the candle, coincided with the kind of like super climax or big candles volatility week that we had on gold and silver on week of Jan 26. So it's kind of break, pull back, and now we get confirmation, right? So we got 2 weeks of, you know, strong upside on like commodity index. So it similarly to how we analyze markets and other indices every week, this for me is confirmation that we cleared basically that level, and we may assist to a very nice bullish leg, right, in 2026. So gold and silver are part of that. Moving on to cryptocurrencies now with Bitcoin. And well, I mean, I couldn't do the weekly video last week, but as you can see, right, we definitely got confirmation for me that now we turn bearish. We dipped very far below the previous all-time high, which was really key level for me, right, around $69,100, $69,100. And, you know, we kind of resisted the week after that, early Feb, and then the past 2 weeks, we are just like heading downwards. So it's not a very positive outlook for Bitcoin at all. We also ran a full bull cycle analysis, and I have a separate video on that soon, explaining basically that actually, let me switch to logarithmic scale. I'm sorry. Let me now come back. Explaining that basically based on the previous bull cycle's duration, it may be that we ran out of steam and now we are going to a bearish phase. But again, you know, we had a minus 52% drop there until the lowest, right there. Okay, so yeah, it sounds dramatic, but if you look at the previous bull cycle, right, we had also, it was I think even more pronounced. We had a minus 56% drop, right, and then we bounced back even higher. And that's when we reach the top. So double top there. I don't know if we're going to get a double top there as well, but I'm saying that this kind of drop happens on cryptocurrencies. But definitely the fact that we close back under the previous all-time high is we're past danger zone, and it's not a great outlook, right? We would need time to recover from that, build something of quality, and potentially take a trade again. Similar story on Ethereum. As you can see, we're just going downhill. What I did add this week though is actually we may have the formation of kind of a very large wedge or triangle. As you can see here, I'm drawing that. So let me remove that zone there and make that a bit thicker. So we may have the formation of a very large triangle. And I mean, this is going to take a while basically to kind of resolve, but you can see that, right? Previous high got stuck there, but we are kind of falling into this wedge or triangle. So we'll need to see, I mean, you see that here it's kind of respecting this level somehow, right? So we need to see how it behaves. Maybe, you know, we would end up going a bit lower in this area. But the idea is like that for the price to kind of like oscillate between these boundaries and have possibly, I would say, end of this year or next year, a beautiful break. And we'd want to see, as you know now, if you're watching my videos, reduction in volatility toward the end and a break. And I would love to see that, a clear break above all-time high. We are not there yet at all, and this will take time. And the outlook is not very good as well on Ethereum. So yeah, the next few months will be key, but there's nothing much to do there. Just observe. So I'm going to show you now one of the trade that I just placed actually earlier this week. That was on Gen, on the Gen was the Euronext. I think it was on Euronext Brussels Jensen Group, and So I'm going to take you through quickly the 6 elements of an explorative setups, and we have that very much here. Is so beautiful, right? We have a strong momentum, and by the way, these are the things that I look for. That's all I trade. That's what I look for. You know, that's why I have my screeners for, right? My screeners return me these kind of specific opportunities, and then I'm gonna, of course, refine my judgment. But without the screener or the specific thing that I look for, right, you're not gonna be able to find that, right? You need a screener, and you need to know in details, you know, like how to enter, traps to watch out for. It's not just about, you know, seeing a pattern. There's quite a few things you need to check, including, you know, as well risk management, how you enter, how you follow position, and so on. But at a high level, right, if you stick to these principles, it's gonna make your trading like instantly better. If you want more details about that, just head over my website, drop your mail as well if you want to learn more about that. So anyway, so element 1, strong momentum, we have that very much. I mean, let me zoom out, right? This has just been going, right? Very, very strong momentum, multi-year since like 2022, 2023, very strong momentum. So that's beautiful. We have that very much. We want a clean sideways consolidation. We have that, right? So we've talked about that for gold, silver, and so on, right? It is good and healthy to have pauses in uptrend. You don't want to have something that goes up to the moon in a straight line, at least if you're trying to take a trade. If you're in a trade, then great, good for you. So that's what we have here. We have a strong momentum, right? Big green candles there, and then we have a pause. So we have that second element, lateral consolidation. We also have a clear level, a clear resistance level that is respected, right? And the price is bouncing back and forth, playing tennis under that level without ever breaking it. We have a reduction of volatility toward the end. Bollinger Band horizontal, we have this beautiful there reduction, as you can see. We have a clear breakout, beautiful. I don't know actually if there was a news or not, but this was just like beautiful, right? I could just place my order above the breakout. That was, I think, Thursday. Place my stop somewhere there under, and then we had massive volumes. I mean, just very big increase in volume, and that's amazing. And the next session, basically, my order got triggered. There was a buy stop limit order. My order got filled, and I got, just with the momentum, I got taken up, right? So this is not yet a winner, but it's a great start. It's really good. Probably halfway through my first take profit. So that's awesome. These are the kind of stuff I look for. These are the kind of stuff that I trade, and that's it. So again, I don't know if this is going to be a winner. I don't know, right? You need to know that on average, 7 or 8 out of 10 trades go nowhere, right? Small wins, small loss, maybe 1 or 2, 3, maybe you're going to lose, but that's it. And it's the remaining, it's really about 10% of them which make for all the performance. So I don't know what this is going to be. A loss, small win, small loss, or a very large win. But I know that statistically, if I expose myself to these things regularly throughout, you know, my 10 to 30 minutes daily routine, that some of them will just, you know, work really, really well, and they will give me the performance I'm after. It's all about patience. It's all about showing up, even when there's nothing, even when your routine is going to be 5 minutes because maybe the market is looking bearish. Your screeners are empty. There's nothing to look at. There's no trade, no open trade, nothing to manage. It doesn't matter. I do that every single day. And when these opportunities are going to show up, I'll be there to take them. So that's what it is. That's what it's all about. This is one of these. And we'll see. Maybe we'll do another recap in a few weeks to see how it goes. But that's amazing, right? Like you can see this contraction, momentum, break, and I'm there. I'm joining the train. I'm hopping on the train, joining the ride, and hopefully it's going to take me further up. That's all it is. Moving on now to the stock market with the SP 500. And there's nothing much to add here. As you can see, our scenario is still at play. We have a lateral consolidation there. You know, kind of a, how can I draw that? Maybe something like that, as you can see, right? So beautiful triangle, sideways consolidation. So let's see where this goes, but this is normal, this is healthy. We had a very strong leg up since April last year. So this is great. I'm happy to see that. And yeah, as always, let's see what the next few weeks are gonna bring. But this is good. This is healthy. Low volatility. Nothing major to share here. Similar story on the NASDAQ now, and yeah, same. Our kind of current scenario is still at play, right? As you can see, we have just this like wedge forming. We're going sideways, consolidating, and hopefully towards mid 2026, a break, resuming the uptrend, and being aggressive again with risk management. Moving on now to European index with the DAX, and DAX is still stuck under this resistance area. So for DAX, if you remember early Jan, we had a beautiful break, pullback, and now what I'm waiting to see is like confirmation of that break above that line, and maybe have this great upward movement that we want to see. So yeah, time will tell. Time will tell, but this is great. This is great. And if you actually look at the CAC 40, the French index, the CAC 40 had that, right? We had that break much earlier last year, sideways consolidation. We had a break there, but pullback, and then confirmation last week, break, and confirmation this week. So any stock that is any position taken now on the French index, for me would be with an aggressive risk management, right? So just beautiful there, beautiful confirmation. That's great. These are very, very clear signals. It's a simple analysis, but monitoring these signals allow us to just make this judgment calls and decision. And it doesn't have to be very complex. We're just monitoring the levels. Again, the candles green and red are just a manifestation of a representation of people's emotion. What are people doing in the market? We are reading that. We are not predicting. We are just observing and adjusting accordingly. Let's have a look now at the dollar index. We haven't done that for a few weeks, and well, it looks like our dollar index is still stuck under there and maybe drawing us a beautiful double bottom right there. So you can see that this level is really, really key, right? We had a few weeks like a week as in doji there. We went to touch that level, came back, touch that level, came back, touch that level, we came back, we stayed above, right? Around this is around 90, 96 basically. So that's great, that's healthy. Remember, let's look at the past. This happened before, double bottom, beautiful reduction in volatility, clear break, a very nice leg up. So what I've done here is I've taken the amplitude of that move from the bottom of the pattern there to the top, and I've just copied that over there, and that give us a potential appreciation from the break of that resistance there of 20%, right? So if we do clear that level, we may assist to a beautiful appreciation for the dollar basically. And finally, I wanted to touch a bit upon the euro Swiss franc. We've done our past few weeks, but if you remember about a month ago, we said that we had this very, very clear key level in a like downward channel right there, with here a very clear level and triangle that formed and that got broken right there on that week. And what we said is, so this really it's so clear that we have really good chances that we assist as something going downhill, right? It's like this level there has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it's been worked out, right, for the past 2 years, and that's a weekly time frame, remember, right? With reduction in volatility, meaning like less and less buyers, more pressure from the sellers, and eventually a break and a close below that level, right? It got retested the following week, pull back, and then boom, very big red candle confirming that. And what we said is basically this on the week of Feb 9th was confirmation that, yeah, it's very likely we're going to head towards a downwards move for euro Swiss franc, meaning the euro is going to lose value against the Swiss franc. And yeah, that's what we're having now. I mean, again, I don't know what it's going to look like, but the scenario that we had in mind was exactly that, and this is what we have here. So again, this is a very interesting example that this simple analysis works, right? We are looking at the psychology of crowd, the psychology of the people who are interacting placing orders on the markets, and that's all it is, right? News can be baked in, not baked in yet. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what the chart is telling me. I know very little about fundamental analysis, right? I'm not going to claim that I do any. I don't, right? I only watch out for news for my trading plan. It's very mechanical. Maybe looking at certain key things like the float and so on if I hesitate into a few positions. But I am not looking at the fundamentals of a company. I am just doing technical analysis, and this is enough for me to really exploit specific anomalies in the market, right? It's not like take everything, whatever. No, there are specific things that I look for in specific context, and when basically I have all the ingredients within that context, I pull the trigger and my chances of winning are just higher, right? It's just statistics, and that's what I do, right? So if that is something you'd like to learn, thanks for watching. If that's something you'd like to learn, head over to my website. I've just put together a free, what I call the Swing Trader Playbook, right? It's a free PDF that you can download over there, and it basically it recaps and summarizes a few of the things I've been talking about on this channel, but in one single place. And it's a great starting point really for building a trading routine. So go ahead and do that. Personally, that's the kind of stuff I would have loved to get when I started trading, so I'm sharing that with you. And yeah, we'd love to get your feedback on that as well. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.